Welcome to New Life Live, the premier place to receive free advice from Christian psychologists and counselors for the mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual challenges you face. Since 1988, we've offered compassionate responses that combine God's truth with proven psychological principles to guide you toward healing. Our phone lines are open. Call us now at 1-800-229-3000.
Welcome to New Life Live. So glad that you are with us today. And with us, it's myself, Chris Williams, licensed marriage and family therapist. Also, marriage and family therapist, JJ West. How you doing, JJ? And we'll have JJ on here very, very shortly, all the way from Florida.
So many words, JJ.
Well,
let us get a word in edgewise, please.
I was talking. I was just muted. Oh, I hate when that happens.
Oh, JJ.
I'm having some technical issues today.
Yeah. Maybe.
But I'm trying to solve them.
Yes.
Good.
Well, we're very glad that you're with us today. And we have our resident psychologist, Dr. Jill Hubbard.
Yes. Hello.
Hello. Okay. So you come in with some big words like.
Well, I like learning new words.
Okay. Tell us, what new words are you learning?
And I like, because it's very interesting. First, let me preface by saying in our field of psychology, it's an ever-growing, ever-changing field.
Yes.
There are lots of theories, but people like to make a name for themselves, right?
Yes.
So they take old theories or they coin terms, and it sounds like something brand new. So if you go to therapy, depending on when your therapist went to school and what their orientation is, you could hear different words. And
that actually mean the same thing,
that mean the same thing. You could think, oh, my therapist doesn't know about this. They actually probably do. They just
But I like the words that make
differently.
me sound really smart.
Yes, but it is fun to learn some new ones. So
absolutely.
Today I am talking about the crystallization of discontent. Now, this actually isn't so new because it was coined in 1994. Okay, by Roy F. Baumeister.
Okay.
Have you heard of him?
No.
Okay, I know.
But I love Baumeister. I love that.
Yes, I know.
I love to say that, Baumeister.
But he's a social psychologist.
Okay,
apparently, in some circles, very well known and into helping people make sense and meaning in life and the issues around the need to belong. So he brought up this term, and this term actually means it's a term to describe the tipping point in a person's life when the benefit of what they are doing, struggling with, what their behavior is, no longer outweighs change. So a lot of times we don't seek change or transformation because it's too painful to make that change. And so when life becomes, when where we're at currently becomes more painful, we will finally make the change. So this has also been taken on by recovery circles. That moment when someone realizes they can no longer engage in the addictive behavior because it's destroying them and that they'll die.
Well, we like to say it like this, that when the pain of staying the same exceeds the pain of change.
Yes. So it's a period of distress and dissonance that precedes a significant life change. There's lots of different ways to say it. But like in recovery, the moment of clarity is often, right? Or for some of us, it's that aha moment where the head and the heart connect and we go, oh, I see it differently now. Those paradigm shifts.
And that's the crystallization of discontent.
Yes.
And another way to say it is that when our misery becomes crystal clear.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And so it's a time to reflect and take action and channel our discontent into something positive instead of staying the same.
In my office, I find this to be one of the things is I don't want people to bypass the pain too quickly. To get to the solution
I think this is a long build-up when they're talking about the crystallization. If you think of things crystallizing, it takes a long time, and you're finally at that point.
But I think that that's part of our role is to help people get crystal clear about what is wrong, We're
going to have a lot of spin-off words on this.
Absolutely. So, Jill, thank you so much for that. The crystallization of discontent. Let us help you with that. We'll be back right after this.
restore gave me strength. It gave me more belief in my faith. I met up with a group of women that are going through things that they had no control over.
If you've been affected by betrayal, an emotional or a physical affair, or pornography, the Restore Intensive will equip you with support and tools to help you through.
When two people want to do their part, we can be restored. But if they don't, we can still be restored. We are not stuck because someone else made a decision. That God lets us weigh in on how we want to walk out our lives. Our wellness does not hinge on another person's decision.
The Restore Intensive is coming to Washington, D.C. November 1st through the 3rd. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the discount code NLL to save $50.
I've had a great experience at Restore.
1-800-NEW-LIFE and the discount code NLL. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back to New Life Live. We are so glad that you are with us today, and we are glad that Lisa in Fredericksburg, Virginia, listening on WAVA, is with us today. Lisa, so glad that you have joined us. What is going on, and how can we help you?
Yes, I have a question because I'm living right now. I'm very stressful and I have anxiety because my 74-year-old mother-in-law, that she's healthy, is living with us and she don't want to do absolutely nothing. Just staying in a room that's smelling already. Mm-hmm. She don't want to work. She wasn't working and retired, and she's healthy and she don't have no money. And she stay in the house, not even self-sufficient for herself. And I'm about to, and my husband is so good and we have a good marriage, but I'm already in the last rope. I just don't know what to do. And she's not listening. In my face, she say, no, I don't want to work because I don't want to. And me and my husband tell her, but you don't have no money. You need to get out, have friends, engage with people for your own good, self-sufficient for your own good. Mm-hmm. To have money saved there so you can go vacation, you can do something.
Yeah. So, but Lisa, I hear a lot of anger in your voice.
Yes, I do. I do, because it's not fair.
Okay, so pause it right there. Pause it right there. What's not fair about this situation?
I feel because it's a long story. She lives good and she has her own home in Florida.
Yeah.
And she have a son that he don't do nothing with his life, cheating and deceiving people, going to jail and things like that. And she enabled him. He ate all her money, sold her house without my husband's knowledge, because my husband went to the military. He suffered to go to be somebody else, and he went to the military. He went to get his degree. He got master's degree. He got a good life. My husband is those guys that don't believe in credit cards, save his money.
Yeah. So Lisa, let me jump in. So your mother-in-law is a giver to unhealthy people and a taker from healthy people.
No, her son that she enabled him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like,
she gave too much to him.
She gave to the unhealthy son, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But she takes from the healthy son.
Absolutely. Everything. Now, it's a long, it's just a long story from last year.
Yeah.
We have another house, her son, my husband's brother.
Well, let's so Lisa, let me jump in because I think we got the gist of it. We see that it's unfair. So what's the question for us today? How can we help you?
Because I feel guilty. I'm telling her to go get out and find a job, helping her to get a job. She don't go to the interviews. She don't do, okay, I don't want to work. And she goes, I don't want to see you in that room. She go in the room. She don't get out. She stays there all day, every day. And she don't want to do nothing. I work. I come home because I'm a Spanish person. I believe in taking care of my husband, keep clean and cook and go to work. and she's waiting for me to come home, cook, and then she eats, and then she go back to the bed. I don't think that God will be happy with that, but I feel guilty because I was raised.
So you're caught in this tension between feeling angry and resentful and guilty all at the same time.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Guilty
so Lisa, is there a question for us? Do you want us to help you navigate? What do you do about this terrible situation?
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. JJ, what do you think?
Yeah, so are you and your husband on the same page in terms of what your expectations are of your mother-in-law?
Absolutely.
Absolutely you are. Okay. Well, that's good news. That's helpful. If that's the case, then what has your husband, her son, said to her that these are the expectations? If you're going to live in our home, this is what we expect from you. We expect you to clean up after yourself. We expect you to pay such and such amount in rent. We expect you to ask before having people over, whatever. Like, has he gone through any expectations with her, either before she moved in or since she's moved in?
And that's what we say, get out, go find somebody to help you.
But hold on. What JJ is asking is, like, is there any tangible consequences for her not following through with her agreements?
Right.
Yeah, my husband says you either go to work or get out of the house, do something.
Well, hold on. That's a suggestion on what she could do. What are you guys doing as a result of her not following through?
That's it. That's our turmoil because we feel guilty. What else to do? We don't know what else to do. Or she finds out where to go, and she says, okay, I just don't want to work. But the cycle continues.
Yes, of course. So,
right, because you feel too guilty to kick out your 79-year-old mother. Right.
Absolutely.
Right. I'm wondering, though, if she's depressed. A lot of older people are depressed. Is this the way she lived previous to living in your home? Did she hide in her house?
No. She used to have my father-in-law died like 7 years ago.
Okay.
And she got a son that they enable also. It's like I say, it's a long story of who she is. But okay. She's not doing nothing about to get out of that funk, we call it. She is depressed.
Okay.
Yes,
so could you put her in the car and drive her to Grief Share?
What's that?
That's a group that meets at churches about grief and loss. She's lost her husband. She's lost her home. Right? I think you guys just being frustrated and caught in this anger, guilt trap. It's just spinning.
Yes.
So,
but her house was paid for, and she sold it when we told her not to do that.
Okay,
yes,
so,
I know, and you can't. Right. I understand that, and that's where you have a lot of resentment towards how she's run her life. But you know what? You don't get a say-so in how she's run her life. You only get a say-so in what's happening in your home. And you don't even get a say-so. If you allow her to live there, you don't even get to tell her really how she should live. But you could have some criteria. You could say, we think that you're depressed and that maybe you're still grieving because your life has been reduced, right? And she has no one to rally around. She needs a needy person. She has no needy person. So that was her purpose in life. So I think she's lost her purpose in life. So maybe starting with Grief Share. So, and we can give you a resource to that, or it's usually in churches around the country where they meet. And it's like for 6 weeks, something like that. But it would be something to get her out with other people who have also lost things and to start hearing what other people are doing and how they're getting through it instead of her just shutting down. And so I think you may have to, again, say, okay, well, if you're going to live here with us, then you're going here with us or you're going there with us. We're taking you to church. That's what we're doing.
Right. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead, JJ.
I was just going to say, this happens with adults, parents who are dealing with their adult children.
Right.
It happens, obviously, in this case, Lisa, with an aging parent, where you think that if you enforce a boundary with them, that you are kicking them out. You're forcing them to live on the street. You're forcing them to do X, Y, or Z. When in fact, it's their choices that are forcing this. So in this particular case, so she sold her home. So she had the resources to provide a home for herself. What she did with those resources, that's up to her. But she had the resources to provide a home for herself. She could have held on to the home that she had. She could have used the money from selling her home to buy or rent another place. Instead, she chose to live with you and your husband. You don't have to let her continue to live with you. And if you say, we're not allowing you to stay with us if you continue to live this way by not getting out of the house, not contributing financially, not helping clean up or cook or anything of that nature, you're not kicking her out. You're saying these are the rules that you have to abide by to live here, just like everywhere you go has rules.
Okay.
I have a homeowners association that I have to follow.
Okay, so JJ, sorry, I'm interrupting because I hear what you're saying, and that would be if she is just being defiant, right? She just doesn't want to do anything. What if she is depressed? I say, look at the behavior. Okay, so your behavior is telling us, since you're refusing to do these things that we know would be good for you, that you must be depressed. So we're going to step in because obviously you aren't able to help yourself. So we're making a psychiatry appointment. We're taking you to grief share. We're going to get you in therapy. We're going to do some things to help activate you because it's apparent you're unable to do it for yourself. So I think taking a different approach like that, because threatening her, telling her she's got to do these things, it's not working. So you've got to come in from a different angle.
Yeah, and I'm even going to come in from a different angle than the other two. So
okay, what's yours?
Lisa, your biggest problem is not your mother-in-law. Your biggest problem is the anger and guilt you're carrying inside of you.
Yeah, because it's not fair. And we just
hold on. Let me.
But you're right. It isn't fair, Lisa.
I will affirm that 100%.
It's not fair.
It's not fair, and it will never be fair. But that term really helps us out because it speaks to expectations. You're expecting her to be someone and to behave in a way that she is not and can't. Now, that doesn't mean you have to put up with it. I want to make sure that that's really, really clear. But if the call today is, how do I get my mother-in-law to fill in the blank? All four of us on this call here are powerless against that. We have no control over that. And so we will live in perpetual guilt and frustration. But when we say, like, hey, mother-in-law, to stay here, here's what you're going to need to do. We're going to need to figure out what's going on with your mental and emotional condition. We're going to have to figure out if depression is active. It maybe dementia is active. We need to figure out what's going on with you. And then we need to figure out different solutions. But living with us in this current situation is unsustainable. We can't do it, so we have to make different decisions. And why I flip that, Lisa, is because if you work extra hard to get her to make a different decision, you're going to need to only feed the guilt and frustration. Rather, you say, we are going to make a decision and give you options, mother-in-law, and you could take it or leave it.
We've been doing that for a year.
Okay, but there's something that you're not doing.
Yeah.
You're not following through.
Absolutely, you're right.
Okay, so the guilt,
and you keep fueling your own resentment and frustration.
So
absolutely, I pray, I fast.
Yeah,
and I feel good
Lisa,
about it, and the next day the same thing.
Yeah, so Lisa, when you're able to let go of the guilt, that you are ultimately not responsible for your mother-in-law's decisions, is when you can make clear decisions for yourself. It's the guilt that's getting you in the way, and the guilt that's also feeding the resentment.
Well, and then
guys are at the end of the road because we just find out my daughter that is in university doing her right thing. She graduated the end of this year. We were just waiting for her so we can be lonely nesters with my husband.
Okay, so
my husband.
So
And
that
now she's been diagnosed. She's been diagnosed with diabetes.
okay. So yes,
with
Lisa, we hear you, and I hear the energy behind that. I want you to get into some counseling and to help work through what's going on with you emotionally and help get clarity on the decisions moving forward. We're also going to send you the copy of Boundaries. Boundaries really, helps you understand what's the difference between a suggestion of somebody else to do and a decision about something I should do, and that's the boundary and the follow through and all of that. Lisa, we thank you so much for calling in today. We know this is a really tough situation, but we want to encourage you to keep moving forward in what's best for you. Work through that guilt, and we're going to be back right after this.
I came kicking and screaming. The last 24 years have been filled with pain. I was violently molested and raped from the age of 6 to 13. It has changed everything in my life. This weekend for me has been life-altering. I have realized that God does love me, that this is my story, and that's okay for the first time in a long time.
This is Steve Arterburn, and this is the story of a new life. She came kicking and screaming and now has a changed life. You can be part of offering hope to others as you step out in faith by donating to New Life Ministry.
To make your tax-deductible gift, visit newlife.com and click Donate. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE or text NLM to 28950. That's NLM to 28950.
I was sort of vaguely familiar that the 12 steps had some origination in the Bible. I found Life Recovery, and one of the things I liked so much was that it had such a broad appeal. It wasn't limited to just alcohol or drugs, that it was addressing a wide range of problems.
At New Life, we believe everyone can benefit from a life recovery experience. There are life recovery groups all over the country. They take place online, in conference calls, and in person. And if there isn't one in your area, we can help you start one. We have startup materials, leaders' guides, CDs, Bibles, and more, all with discounts available for groups. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE and ask for Terry Ward. The 12 Steps have long been a great help to people in recovery because much of the 12 Steps' power comes from the fact that they capture principles clearly revealed in the Bible.
The 12 steps is really a pattern for all of us as Christians.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. We'd love to hear from you. If you have a question or a comment, call toll-free 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back to New Life Live. So glad that you are with us today. We have Every Man's Battle coming up in Orange County on November 1st. Again, this is, I always say this, the best time to get help for our sexual addiction or sexual acting out behavior is right now. One of our attendees said this was a revolutionary victory against the enemy and generations of generations of damage he has done to my family. When we get into recovery for our addictive issues, especially for our sexually addictive issues, we're not just impacting ourselves, our marriages, our relationships right now, but we're impacting a ripple effect that goes far beyond us. And so if this is an area in life in which you're struggling, please go to newlife.com, call us 1-800-NEW-LIFE, register for Every Man's Battle coming up November 1st in Orange County. And we're going to go right back to the phones. We're going to go to Carla in Boise, Idaho, who connects with us through the app. Carla, so glad that you're with us today. Tell us what's going on.
Hello. Thank you for taking my call.
No problem.
When I was about eight years old, I went to stay at my mom's friend's house, and in the middle of the night, her son came to my room, and he told me that he did some things, and then he said, "Go take a shower and come to my room." So I did that, and because I was little, and but now that I'm old, I still have problems with like showering, and getting undressed, basically.
So did he I'm assuming he did something abusive to you.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And so now, even for you, though this happened at 8, going to the shower is still a difficult or even painful,
Yeah, you've
scary
paired
experience.
it with that
Yeah.
trauma.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm trying to move on, and I don't know what to do or think, and it's just like haunting me still.
Yeah.
Carla, what have you done? What help have you sought out for this?
Well, for a long time, I didn't think about it, or I just pushed it out.
Sure. How old are you now,
But
Carla?
I'm 58.
58. Okay, so you pushed it out for a lot of years.
50 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and we, that's a way of coping is we can literally block things out and not remember almost, and can be very effective, but we never completely get away. It's like it's buried alive.
Yeah.
And it does come back. So now you're at an age where this is coming up for you again. So have you sought any help?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Well, so glad that you called today.
Yeah.
Because I think this is important to point out. Trauma lays down, pain lays down a template. And it does, this gets a little technical, but it does it through sensory data. What we see, what we taste, what we smell, what we hear, what we feel. And so the experience of going to the shower, your brain at 8 years old said, this is not okay.
It's a precursor to abuse.
It is, yes. It's a precursor to a terrifying event in which you will experience pain that will be outside of your control. So once it's actually in your thalamus, once it takes in that information in a subconscious level, it automatically activates your defenses. The best way to do that is to ignore it. But as Jill said, our past pain is like a mob boss. You can only ignore it for so long, but eventually you're going to have to pay up. But on the back end, it's actually, we discover it's a friend to help us heal and move on and get and grow in our lives. Yeah. So JJ, where does Carla go from here?
A couple of things, but first, Carla, let me just say I'm so sorry that this happened to you. It's unthinkable that it did, and yet it did happen to you. And I'm sorry that you've had to carry it for so long, and had to carry it alone for so long. What a terrible burden to have to carry alone. So I'm glad that you called. I think next step for you would be a couple of things. Number one is I want you to pick up a copy of a book called, I'm drawing a blank on Allender's.
The Wounded Heart.
The Wounded Heart,
Healing
thank you. The Wounded Heart by Dan Allender. There's also a companion workbook. So the Wounded Heart is the go-to resource for adults who are dealing with childhood sexual abuse, okay, which is what you suffered. So I would want you to pick up a copy of that book and the workbook and go through it, but I don't want you to go through it alone. I want you to contact a therapist who has experience working with sexual abuse survivors. I also want you to look into a group for abuse survivors so that you have a community around you that is helping carry the burden with you, and it's not all on your shoulders. But you do need to reach out for help. This is not something that you were designed or equipped to handle on your own. If someone had physically injured you when you were a child, and for some reason you weren't aware of that injury and only became aware of the injury or the impact of the injury as an adult, you wouldn't be expected to fix your broken self with yourself. You would go to a professional who would help you heal. And that's what I really want you to do in this case. But I'm so proud of you for having the courage to make the call today. And I just want you to continue that courageous effort to take the steps now to work on your healing.
Oh, that's so good, JJ. Yes, thank you so much. Again, that is Healing the Wounded Heart by Dan Allender. Also, we are going to send you a copy of the Emotional Freedom Workbook. And Carla, please, we want to just encourage you, get into a therapist who specializes in this area. And we're going to be back right after this.
I had been in porn addiction. My past had not been found out at all, yet I had hit a point in my life where it was time.
Men are barraged with inappropriate content and images all day, every day. It's a battleground for every man, and the opportunities to fail are everywhere. The Every Man's Battle Intensive can help.
I never divulged what I'd been doing.
Find help today at New Life's Every Man's Battle Intensive.
This is a place that changed my life in such a positive way for Christ, because I could be the Christian man that I'm called to be.
Now the intensive is coming to Orange County, California, November 1st through the 3rd. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the discount code NLL to save $50.
I cannot say enough what it does in the Christian community for not just men, for their children, for their wives.
1-800-NEW-LIFE and the discount code NLL. Club New Life changes lives.
I think I go way back to listening to New Life, learning so much from it, and then becoming a Club New Life member.
Club New Life is a monthly giving family that helps New Life Ministries provide Christ-centered hope and counseling resources to thousands of people.
You know, I'm so thankful because you know why I keep giving? Because I keep learning, and I'm so thankful for all the lives that you touch every day and the people's lives. So when I get to still hear the radio show, it's just so encouraging to my heart.
When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, you'll make a difference in the lives of individuals and families with godly counsel and connection to help.
And you know one reason I give? Because I feel like sometimes I'm hiding behind a counselor's couch listening to all this great information and not paying, so my guilt of this great advice is alleviated by being a Club New Life member.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. And together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. We're glad you joined us for New Life Live. To be a part of the program, call 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back to New Life Live. We are so glad that you are with us today. And I really want to take an opportunity to thank our financial partners, our donors, because so much of what you give to, a lot of times we're giving to a nameless, faceless impact or organization, and we don't always know what is happening with the impact of that investment. But one of our Club New Lifers wrote this: I came across your ministry in 2005 as my first marriage was on its way south. I began listening to the program online to help me deal better with my crazy situations that I found myself in, at church and at home. The boys, as they were back then, as a guy, it meant a lot for me to hear from other men. I read Dr. Dave Stoops' books, Forgiving the Unforgivable and Forgiving Our Parents and Forgiving Ourselves. The words of wisdom in those two books did so much to help me see how my past was dictating my present. When my marriage ended in 2006, I was able to heal so much better with the godly wisdom in my heart than I could have on my own. Thank you all for the time, resources, prayer that you invest to heal people and as best you know how, per God's design. And that's really at the heart, is to bring hope and healing in life's hardest places and to see that impact. And so thank you for all those who donate and financially partner with us to make these changes and transformations in lives possible.
Well, and I love that Dave's legacy lives on. It warms my heart.
It warms my heart too. And because Dave's legacy is worthy of living on because of the way it has impacted us. With that, we're going to go right back to the phones. We're going to go to, I'll find it here, Dottie in Shepherdsville, Kentucky. Dottie, how's it going today?
It's going pretty good.
Good. Well, tell us what's... Yes, thanks for calling in. How can we help you today?
My daughter, she's 29, and she married a female. Well, I struggled about whether to go to her wedding. They had like $10,000 wedding, and I sent her a bunch of scriptures and all that before she done that, and I ended up going. My fiance didn't want me to go, so I had to make decisions to go for my daughter. So I went and talked to a pastor, and that wasn't my pastor, and he said, love your daughter, to go. So I went, and now she, I went to her house one day and put something on her door, some gifts for her and the new girl. And I even bought them stuff for Christmas. And this time I called her and let her know I dropped it off. She said I came uninvited. And it hurt my feelings, so I kind of acted out. And so it's been about 9 months since she's wanted to talk to me, There was a get-together with my sisters, and she did take a blanket, gave her with the daughter on it, but I had to take her birthday gift back. But she didn't want to talk to me, and my sister was saying, one day you're going to need your mother. She ended up leaving, and I ended up leaving.
When you dropped off the gift and it wasn't received well, and you said you acted out, what was that? What was that incident?
I acted out because she said I came unwelcome.
Yeah,
and I was telling her.
But what did you do?
Was that?
What did I do?
Yeah.
I apologized like 5 times for I acted out. It was like, I don't know, maybe 4:30, 5:30 in the morning. I sent her a picture with the middle finger.
Oh, yeah.
Her blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
That I ain't going to say. But, I think I said, just take your gay bats, go on down the road. If I die, just don't come to my funeral or if you need to get hold of me, go brother. I said probably a whole page of stuff.
Yeah, you said some really hurtful things out of your own hurt and frustration. It sounds like it felt very rejecting that you couldn't even drop off a gift on their porch without.
Yeah, she wouldn't come to the door, and I hadn't seen her for like 5 months. But before that, I had dropped stuff off. I bought you this, But one time I had got her something when she was younger for her birthday, and because I didn't get it at an expensive store, I got it at a Walmart.
Well,
she wouldn't even. She was 18. She wouldn't even look in the bag to see what I got her.
Well, Dottie, we can hear that you feel a deep rejection from your daughter.
Yes, very much.
Yeah, and
she had shut herself shut herself away since she's been 9 years old, and she used to come in the house, and I'd only see the back of her hair.
Okay.
And her dad shut me away like that for 11 years.
Yeah. Wow.
He only said like 2 words to me a day, and he would lay his Bible on him, and he didn't want to be touched, and he would kick me in the stomach. He didn't want to be touched.
Man.
Oh, wow, Dottie. Well, there's a lot of years of hurt and frustration.
A lot of years of abuse.
Yeah, and I wonder if some of your daughter's behavior is reminding you of your husband, too, her dad.
It does.
Yeah.
And my other son, he only takes my calls when he wants me to come and clean these apartments. I've done them for 4 years. He's never been to my house. I've been here 5 years.
Wow.
And he's never been. And he only calls me. I gave him a car, and he only calls me now. He's making 6 figures, and he don't need me. I texted him. I told him I loved him, and he said he don't answer his calls.
Yeah.
He's busy.
That's really, really heartbreaking. And so, Dottie, is there a question that you have for us?
I don't know what to do. I feel like I want to commit suicide.
Oof. Okay. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So let's start here. Dottie, we value you. We hear you. You are important. You matter.
Well, I lost my sister, and I feel like I lost my daughter, and I lost my sister.
And we hear that you're carrying a lot of pain inside of you.
I lost my mother, I lost my father, I lost my other sister.
I know. I hear those losses. Yes, absolutely.
And I was in a toxic relationship, and I just let him come back in my life again, and he would call me names, my daughter names. He threatened my daughter. My daughter.
You're repeating some of those abusive relationships and cycles. And so, Jill, where do we guide Dottie here today?
Well, Dottie, first of all, I hear that, as you recant all of these losses and hurts, that it can be really overwhelming, and that like Chris was saying, that it feels like you've lost some of your value. And that's why I hope you heard him say, we do value you and God values you. And it's important to remember that and to hold on to that. And when we're in a situation where we feel like nobody in our family is willing to hear us, we actually really need to go outside of our family, because there have been dynamics that have been created over a lifetime, and people are playing roles and everybody is stuck. And so to get perspective, we need to get outside of the family and allow others to love on us, others that can be objective and don't have the same hurts, to help to mirror to us our value. So it's important that we also don't take things into our own hands. And so when you say, Dottie, sometimes I feel like, suicide or something, is that something you've actively thought about, or is that an expression of your frustration and hurt?
Sometimes I'll be looking in the mirror and I'll just be putting my makeup on, and I just feel like, why don't you just commit suicide?
Yeah. And
it just come like out of the blue.
Yes.
Yeah. And whose voice do you think that is, Dottie?
It's probably mine, Ella, because I feel like that I'm in another world now. So many people.
But do you think those words, Dottie? Do you think those words come from God?
Oh no, I don't think it comes from God.
No. And so
I was thinking the other day, if I pray to God, and
yes,
I feel like He would understand, it would be okay to do it, because He would understand.
No, I think that would Dottie. I think that would contradict His word. God is the giver and the taker of life. We're not in that position. And so
I feel like if you pray to God and He knows that you're in a lot of mental stress, and you pray to God and you pray and you tell Him, well, God, this is what I got to do, that He would forgive me.
Well, for sure, I don't disagree with that, but I just think that what Jill is pointing to is a bigger picture here. Is that God wants you alive.
There's more to do.
Because you're of great value, but people have not shown that. People leave and people are painful. Those are the two things that you've learned about people. And oftentimes you learn about ourselves. I don't matter, or I'm worthless. And living in that pain where other people's behavior reinforces that is a truly, truly miserable condition. Dottie, we have to head to a break right now, but we're going to come back.
So hang on.
Yeah, hang on. We're going to give you some guidance here.
We all face days where life throws us a curveball and our routines or plans get disrupted. Things we wanted to do are forced to take a backseat to the unexpected demands of the day. If you normally listen to New Life Live on a radio station, well, you might not be able to that day. And on these hectic days when you're feeling stressed or frazzled, hearing the sound of counsel given on New Life Live is just what you need to navigate the unexpected things of life.
Every time I'm troubled or I have a problem, I'll cut on New Life, and there's always something that is said that is helpful to me.
By listening, I have learned more than I can ever express about how God wants me to live.
Download the New Life app for the easiest way to listen wherever you are and at a time that's convenient for you, or watch the show on our YouTube channel. You can even subscribe to our podcast from your favorite podcast provider. You never have to miss a day of New Life. Wherever you are, we are.
Hi, this is Steve Arterburn, and for over 34 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
I'm an addict, and I'm trying to get God in my life again.
Our Christ-centered treatment programs can help you break free to embrace all that God has for your life and your family.
I just want to thank you guys for bringing me to a relationship with Jesus.
There really is help for marital problems, depression, addictions, panic attacks, and feelings of hopelessness.
I came back with so many tools to help me prepare myself to fight this struggle and this battle that I have every day.
You can start living again today, living the life God intended for you. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
They did care, and they did follow up very lovingly, and it made all the difference in my life.
Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Someone who cares is waiting at the other end of the phone. God can open the door to a better tomorrow. Call 1-800-639-5433.
To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back to New Life Live. We're so glad that you're with us. We are very glad, Dottie, that you had called in today because, again, we want to help you. We want to keep you safe. We want to help you get onto a road of healing and recovery in your own
well,
life.
And it
from your
shows
own
a sense of agency, Dottie, that you are taking a step towards helping yourself. And that even though at times you feel very worthless, you do value yourself enough to call.
Absolutely. So Dottie, in the midst of the amount of emotional pain that you're carrying right now, we want you to do 3 things, okay? And I'm going to put them in order, okay? The first thing we're going to have you do is we're going to have you stay online, and we're going to transfer you to our call center. And they're going to be able to guide you into getting safe and connect you with a counselor or therapist in your area. Okay. The next thing we want you to do is we want you to be able to get into a group that can support you here. And Jill had a great recommendation. It's called ACA, or Adult Children of Alcoholics. But really, at the end of the day, it's adult children of chaotic families.
Yeah, dysfunctional families.
It's really about how do I survive dysfunctional families. And the last thing is we're going to send you the Emotional Freedom Workbook. And that's just going to really help you get into what's going on inside of you. But getting that support from a good counselor and a good group really provides you other relational experiences that contradict the ones that you're experiencing right now. JJ, anything to add to that?
Yeah, so often when we are hurting the way that you, Dottie, are hurting, and hurting on so many fronts the way that you're hurting on so many fronts, it can feel like the only way that I can protect myself from not hurting anymore is to end my life. That's my ultimate way to protect myself from the pain that I'm feeling from all these different directions. All these people that I thought would love me and care for me and accept me, but instead are hurting me, are abusing me, and are rejecting me. I have to protect myself from that, and so I'll end my life in order to not feel this pain anymore.
Or I'll show them, then they'll love me.
Yeah. So it can be a combination of those two. But unfortunately, what it does is it doesn't cure or fix the problems that are present. It just removes you from the situation. And what we're suggesting in terms of this work is that, one, you're agreeing that it's only God's role to end my life, not mine. And 2, that God has a bigger plan for me, not just to remove me from pain, but to heal me through the pain and to provide people around me who can be a part of my healing community rather than continuing to live in this cycle of abuse. Yeah. And Dottie, I'm so sorry that you, because I don't think the abuse just happened in your first marriage and in your current relationship and with your children. I would imagine that the abuse that you've gone through preceded all of that back to your childhood. Yeah. And so you've experienced abuse over and over and over. And that's the work of the enemy. His MO is to steal, kill, destroy. But God's desire is that we'd have life. And so we're trying to connect you to allowing God to bring healing and hope into your life rather than just removing you from the pain, which is all that suicide does. It doesn't heal anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for that, JJ. So important. So Dottie, we are going to send you the Emotional Freedom Workbook. Stay online. We want to connect you with the help that you need today so that you can begin this journey of healing and getting your life back to where it becomes not just tolerable, but truly free. Truly free. We're going to go to one more call today. We are going to go to Vanessa in Vancouver, British Columbia, listening on Sirius XM. Vanessa, hey, I got you on. I only have a few minutes left,
Hi.
so tell us as quickly as you can what's going on, how we can help you.
Okay. My question is, when is it okay to speak into my parents' financial decisions?
Oh, that's a great question. So how old are your parents?
77 and 71.
And do their financial decisions directly impact you?
Well, the story is I'm one of 4 kids,
Uh-huh.
the second oldest, and my younger sister, she's 39 and she's never moved out. She still lives with my parents. And this literally a month ago, my parents told me that they have decided to purchase an apartment alongside her at our summer vacation destination.
Okay.
She doesn't work, so she's got like a small little nest egg that she is contributing to this purchase.
Okay.
So, so the question is, well, my parents admitted that one of the reasons they're buying this place is, one, she's been pushing for years.
Okay.
And secondly, they're hoping that she'll spend more time there than at home. She's never left the nest.
Okay, yeah. So the question is more
Yeah.
of what do I do with the resentment about my sister never being an empty nester or never leaving the nest and launching on her own?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And the fact that they told me it's her inheritance, and I don't know. My brother and I are, we have families that we're supporting, and initially we weren't going to speak into it, but
Yeah, for sure. But
I don't know,
there's
just financially it's really hard.
yeah, there's some resentment coming up as a result of their decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And my dad is showing early signs of dementia,
Yeah.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
too.
So-
So we know
So yeah, let me jump to JJ on this because I think he has some wisdom for you. So JJ, what do you think, man?
Yeah, so I think there's 2 conversations that need to happen. The first is probably a conversation with your sister. And maybe there's already been multiple conversations over the years about what her plans are for joining the adult world and paying her own way and having a job. I'm interested to know how she's contributing to the purchase of this property when she doesn't work. I don't know where that money comes from, but maybe she's had...
She was in a car accident and she received a settlement.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
so she's
so
got
that's what she's
she's
living
got
off
a
of.
small pot of money, but she can't purchase a property on her own. She needs mom and dad to help her with that. Okay, gotcha. So there may be a need to have a conversation with your sister around. It feels like you are coercing mom and dad to join you in this decision to buy this property that they don't necessarily want to purchase. Okay, that may be one conversation.
Right.
But a second conversation is that, with you and your brother, that mom and dad right now are able to make decisions. Now, dad's already starting to deal with some dementia, right? But is mom able to make sound decisions?
Yeah, she's still clear.
Okay. Okay, right. So it may be a conversation that you and your brother have with your mom to say, look, we don't think this is a wise choice, but ultimately, mom, you guys are able to make decisions with your money. You don't need our permission. Right. If you want to buy a property, you can buy a property. If you want to give it to our sister, you can do that. I don't think it's wise, but it's not my say, as opposed to if you felt like they were both struggling with dementia and you needed to intervene because she was taking advantage.
Yeah. So, and Vanessa, I got to jump in here because we just have 30 seconds left. So, in addition to having those clear conversations, the most important thing I think is unhooking your heart from your parents' money. I can't. I
because
cannot.
this is lifelong enabling sister.
I cannot emphasize that enough. It's saying that I'm not enabled to I'm not entitled to my parents' money.
Nope,
Therefore,
you're not.
I can move freely on my own. We're going to send you a copy of Boundaries. Hopefully that will help you. But Vanessa, thank you so much for calling in today. Thank the rest of you for being a part of our program.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433, or write to us at New Life Ministries, P.O. Box 1029, Lake Forest, California, 92609. Please join us again on Monday for New Life Live.
Thanks for watching today. We love helping people. I hope you sense that. And we know that there's always hope if you find the right resource. Now, if something we've said to somebody else applies to you, that's fantastic. That's what we're hoping for. But also, if you want to join us directly, you can call 1-800-229-3000 between 1 and 3 Eastern Time, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays. Those are the best times to get through. And while you're here on YouTube, check out these other videos that we've done to help people see where they could grow or a different path to take. And if you do that, would you give us a thumbs up on the video, and please subscribe to this channel. There are many ways that we can help you outside of the radio program, and it's very hard for some to pick up a phone and dial 1-800-NEW-LIFE. But when you do, we put you in touch with somebody who cares about you, knows all the resources out there, and they're going to find the best for you. There is no reason to struggle alone. I hope to see you tomorrow. Hope you'll invite somebody else to come and join that maybe needs just a little bit of help along the way. I'll see you next time.